What is up, everybody? You know the deal. See the Floor Podcast. Your boy K Malone.
Ryan Wilson.
Got a good episode for y'all. You ready, brother?
Let's get it.
Welcome in. See the Floor Podcast. The guys, the bros. Your boy K Malone.
Ryan Wilson.
Man, this topic, this is kind of just on the fly, but when we thought about it, we were like, oh, we got to talk about that.
Definitely.
So for all you people out there, I'm talking to them, and I'm also talking about me as well. But social media in hoops and sports, it's a thing, but it's not a thing. But you got to be careful.
It's definitely a thing.
It's a thing. You got to be careful with it. That's why I tried to downplay it.
Yeah, you know what I say. Social media run the world.
Unfortunately, it does, and it's kind of sad. There's some benefits, and we're gonna talk about it, but there's also some cons.
Yeah.
First thing is where did it come? When did we realize man, social media is a big deal in sports? What you say, having to be careful about what you say, because you're older than me, so when
back in my day, we had MySpace and Black Planet.
Oh, the what that is?
You're too young for that.
Okay.
But, yeah. I don't know.
Did you worry about what you said on MySpace?
Not really, because it was taken more lightly. It wasn't as serious then. I'm trying to think when it took a turn.
Do you think I feel Twitter 2010, 2011 but still Twitter, you still was just you weren't really trying to post all your laundry. People post a lot of their laundry on Twitter and Facebook and
because finished in 2006. I don't want to tell my age, but
because Facebook, how many times have we seen an incident you see what this person posted on Facebook and the athlete got in trouble for it. So, but that's what I was trying to mean. Just where did it come from, and to the evolution of now, where essentially, professional athlete, you do have to be very careful about what you post, who you message in private, even. People will expose some things in there.
Yeah,
so,
I feel like it took a turn when you started being able to monetize it, because once that happened, you saw people took or put a little more effort into what they posted, and that in turn sucked people in.
Yeah.
So
it's an interesting topic. When we kind of were pondering on it, we're man, there's a lot to that. So let's really get into it and kind of unravel. So in this day and age, as an athlete, what do you think the biggest benefit of having social media can do for you?
It allows you to let people in, and it lets people know who you really are outside of the court. So I like that part of it.
Gotcha.
But outside of that,
the benefit,
almighty dollar.
Yeah, trust me, because now you have almost unlimitless ways to put yourself out there, and for people and or companies or to see you in really kind of whatever light you paint it. You can paint yourself in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It depends on how you use it. Some people can be on the front, other people, are authentic.
Yeah, definitely. And I would hope that you try to not use it to be a villain or to be a flexer.
Yeah.
For people that don't know what the flexer is out there, really trying to almost overemphasize kind of what maybe wealth you have or what, because you're an athlete or your persona, that it's more than it really is. It's got more hype than substance.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that, I don't want to say guy, because there's our female counterparts are on social media too. So, and then that almighty dollar is just want to re-emphasize the almighty dollar, because like I said, as you can be an influencer as an athlete as well.
Exactly.
And make dividends off of the types of social media that you post and, how people get content from you.
Yeah.
So, now let's talk about the bad side.
Some people weren't meant for social media.
No, because some people like to they can't really hold their tongue. So
Yeah.
they be in other people's comments shooting shots.
Yeah, you have to have a sense, a kind of a savviness about you to be able to exceed and be successful on social media. Otherwise,
Yeah, you're doomed.
you're bound to drizzle.
Yeah. So now, to me, for when we talk about social media, the main apps that people can use to create a following, grow some buzz or whatever: Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, I guess
TikTok.
TikTok. Now,
TikTok is taking the world by storm.
still not on TikTok. Still don't plan on getting on TikTok.
Yeah, me neither.
So, we used to have Vine.
Yeah.
Do it for the Vine. I guess you can be on
Were you
Facebook.
on Vine?
I posted some Vines.
Oh my god!
But I definitely was watching some Vines. I cannot lie. So, for us, because we create content. We're former athlete. We try to use our social media in a way. For you, is there a particular app that you think really creates the opportunity to really like push yourself out there and for people to see it between those kind of 4 or 5 major platforms?
I mean, definitely Instagram for sure. Probably Instagram and YouTube probably be the
I left out YouTube.
the most lucrative social medias that you could use.
What about Instagram? Is it just the fact that a picture says 1,000 words and it?
I think your Instagram just shows your personality.
Okay.
Whether it be fashion or whether it be travel, it's another way to allow people into your personal life.
Definitely.
If you see so to do fit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what you portray is very, very important, because I think it kind of creates the kind of off the court dynamic, that people are going to write a story on you about. Not that they're so-called really writing a story, but just what people make up in their minds about you.
Yeah.
And my thing is Snapchat's always been like a way for me to express probably who I am on social media, in terms of just being able to connect with people easy, being able to like snap things back and forth and kind of post things or whatever. Instagram has always been like, just, it's here, it's there, the pictures are there, like take what you want from it. I'm just me, meet me in the flesh to really see the real me.
Yeah.
But definitely ways that you can. And then, Twitter's just its own thing in terms of it's just a quick
Yeah. Some people say Twitter is for the older generation, but I don't think so.
Not at all to me. I think it's easier for maybe older adults that are a little bit more savvier than just Facebook to type out some of their feelings and emotions, can, try to tweet at different people and things like that. But I still think Twitter is, between the ages of probably 15 and 35, 40.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing about Twitter is it's the quickest way a lot of times to get quick information.
Yeah.
So, because I think Facebook is so opinionated.
Yeah.
You don't ever get you can really stay up to date, but you can also get false information on the Twitter.
That is true.
Twitter likes to, decease a lot of people for whatever reason. That's still not cool.
Yeah, I feel like Twitter is like today's day and age of, your daily news. But you got to follow those verified accounts.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all, fake news is a thing, and you can really get a lot of that through Twitter. So just be careful. But one of the other things that, to me is interesting about social media is kind of the growth of not social media, but growth from, for athletes in terms of, especially, basketball players, that from high school, college to pro. Like as a high school kid, at first it was, can I get a mixtape on YouTube? Can I get a Baller's Life? Can I get a Hoop mixtape? Can I get a Ye Area's Finest? Now you want a Slam, 60-second video. You want whatever your favorite, Instagram, content creator to make you a 60-second video. And so, you watching like me, and then now the younger generation, like, what do you think about like the high school kids and how they, like, that's a big thing for them?
Y'all, I'm including you. Y'all are obsessed.
Not obsessed.
Yes. kicks on court and all that.
Hey,
Just
man.
go out and hoop.
But look, see, you can't say that. You was rocking Jordans when you was hooping. You
But
this just wasn't no.
I did that for me though. I wasn't looking for cred or nothing.
Okay. But if there was a social media outlet at that time to give guys credit for the feet they were wearing, you wouldn't have been want to be a part of that?
I mean, if I'm a part of it, I'm a part of it. But if not, I ain't gonna lose no sleep.
No, I got
that kind of stuff don't faze me. That's y'all's younger generation.
Yeah, but I got the sneaker thing from you, so I mean that definitely played into the.
Yeah, you might have got that from me, but your yearn to be seen ain't from me.
Okay, see this. Now let me tell that quick story real quick. So, lucky or not lucky, but one of the good things about going to Wichita State University is that some of the guys on the team before me were definitely lacing them up, and the college case on court, they was getting some love. So when I got there, before that kind of died down and just, okay, post your little sneakers, on your own gram and keep it pushing. Like, they were very
really
the forefront. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'm walking into a perfect situation.
Nah, you had that energy long before you got to Wichita State.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the college guys, it's kind of in between, though. It's not so crucial because you're kind of caught within the confines of, okay, I go to a school that's Nike, Adidas, Under Armour. You have to stay in that lane.
Yeah.
And so, benefit, go to Nike school. You can wear Jordans. Even if you go to a Jordan school, you can't really double down on Nikes, though. You pretty much got to stay in whatever Jordans or PEs or whatever. So, And then obviously it turns into a whole different game when you get to the pro level because, depending on what kind of sneakers you're wearing that night, like that, if you're a guy that really taps in with the different colors, people will start to see you in a different light. You I don't want to say you get street cred, but you get just visibility.
Yeah.
Marketability.
Yeah. Because back when I was in college, you had a team shoe.
That's true.
You wasn't going outside of that team shoe.
Yeah, because even in high school, it was like, okay, we have a team shoe, and then, okay, later in the year, we'll get another team shoe. So it's like, okay, you guys will at least give y'all some different options.
In high school, we had a little more flexibility.
Okay.
But
college, you were locked in?
I was locked in.
Okay. I was very lucky, obviously. That I
feel like we had Pippins.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Now, junior college, we were locked in. Now, granted, we did get 2 shoes, but we all had to wear that same one until ours ripped.
Yeah.
And then later in the year, so then it's like, coach, like, okay, y'all can mismatch as long as it's one of those 2 shoes. And it's like, come on, coach, like, you gave us fly jerseys and fly gear, but we can't at least have the shoes to be fly too. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
2075, like national tournament. We a little bit more drip.
So getting back on topic.
Got you.
Who are some of the athletes that you pay attention to, social media wise?
Social media wise, pay attention to LeBron from the aspect of just
he doesn't do much though.
But he's him on social media, and I like that.
What do you mean he's him?
Like he's him.
He tweets every once in a while.
He's always tweeting.
But outside of that.
But on Insta, he's just him. He posted a little bit of the drip. Obviously, he promotes his shoes.
Yeah.
If there's anything he wants to speak out on, he's going to do it, whether it's on camera for media or it's on his own personal social media. So I like that. My favorite, though, is Cam Newton. Cam is different.
On what platform?
Definitely on Instagram.
Yeah.
Definitely on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like his whole mantra right now, like, I'm fresh. Always go be fresh.
Yeah.
I love it. Like he already has a big persona, but I think social media for him now there's an outlet to match how big of a persona he is.
Yeah.
So
but speaking, you touched on Cam, how he is on social media or how he is outside of the field. Does that put pressure on him on the field?
Oh, it definitely has. And I think.
Do you think it's wise that he maintains his image off the field? Because he's not performing like he used to.
I think at this point it doesn't matter because I think, just like I said, him as an individual, he's created enough buzz about himself that people are going to judge you on what you do on the field no matter what.
Yeah.
When you're an NFL quarterback and you're a black quarterback at that and you have any success, you're going to always be under the microscope. I think at this point now, he just does it for him. And I think He also does do other things to use it in the right way because he promotes his All-Star 7-on-7 league. He promotes his team and his kids in that. He shows off his kids on there. He shows off his fashion and style. So I think at this point for him,
it's a business move.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, he's gotten to a level where he has consistently performed, over the last couple of years in the injuries. He started to go downhill. But I think at some point, everybody has that moment where, okay, I'm not the same. And now I just got to be me.
Yeah.
So,
okay, we'll propose that for athletes in general. How you portray yourself off the field or court, does that affect you on the court? Does that put pressure on you on the court?
It can if you're really portraying yourself as this GOAT and I'm the best, or just, I think, one, you got to be humble.
Yeah.
I don't think social media was ever created for it to be a boast or a brag or a flex. I mean,
you don't think that's what it was created for?
I would hope the pure intent of it was to be able to connect in different ways that, one platform is through pictures, one is just through kind of friend interaction, one is through quick video. So, I mean, I hope that you can see that, okay, if you have a following, it's cool it's nice to have people that follow you and support you. Hopefully that you take it in stride.
Yeah.
And that there's maybe a lot of people that maybe you inspire them or they just like what you do. But I mean, there are people that truly, like I said, it's a flex for them. And I think you have to understand, like, you got a job to do. So when you're good at something, I hope your craft comes before these fans or girls or whoever it is that you're appeasing to on your platform.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure everybody's guilty of, having that quick moment where it's like, oh, I'm the man. Or, I'm the girl, but like, oh yeah, like I'll hoop and like I'm the coldest girl hooper. Like they all follow me.
Yeah. You don't even want to get on the females.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that. So ladies, we're gonna leave y'all about this. But another thing that has kind of, gone on as we've gone forward is, as much as players and stuff was on it, coaches.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, it got to a point where now you have to be careful about what you do, because for, young men, younger than us now, you're kind of college recruitment and, going into professional sports is you are judged off your skill, your talent, how did you conduct yourself off the field? And then also now, like, what do you post? Because people have certain standards that they believe their program or organization has to hold. And if you're portraying something that doesn't fit them, might be in trouble.
But that's not just the college to pro level. That's even high school to college.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what I mean. That's what I mean in terms of programs, like college programs and then organizations as the professional sports teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, touch on that in terms of, then start from the bottom in terms of, the younger high school athletes, like how they need to possibly move to make sure that's not a problem.
I think it's definitely a benefit for college coaches. And I think it's a good thing for the high school students because it forces them to grow up faster.
Mm-hmm.
It forces them to reach a certain maturity level and be able to conduct themselves professionally on social media. Because, there are certain people, certain kids that just act a fool.
Yeah. And don't really need social media because you're not.
Exactly. And that ruins your future.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
Definitely. I mean, the biggest thing I see is that, like I said, it's hard because kids are a product of their environment and you don't want to take something away from them and be like, oh, because you're in a position where you need to get out of where you're at and better your life and possibly better your family's life. But for you to do that, you may need to not be on social media, or you need to be very careful. So as whoever a high school coach or mentor or family member that has to tell those kids that, I'm sure that's not an easy conversation to have to tell a 15, 16, 17-year-old, like, hey, you got to watch what you post. And they're thinking like, wow, this is the one place I can express myself. Why can't I do that the way I want to?
Yeah. And it's kind of love-hate because, the kid that doesn't know how to use it and you, as a parent, you try to keep them from using it. but that kind of ruins the recruitment process because a lot of coaches recruit through social media.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I want to get to next, especially, now once you start to move into the college aspect is, and I know for me that having social media was a great thing in terms of coaches being able to contact me. I remember just in high school, I came back from Reebok camp. My dad obviously works for Reebok. My information wasn't in like the book that the college coaches get like at the camp. So they know what high school I go to, size, weight, whatever, phone number, email. But a coach from Weber State reached out to me on Facebook to say, hey, I saw you at camp. You played well. I'd love to get your information so we can start to get some information to you about our school. And I'm like, I'm looking at my dad. I'm coming back like, yo, a coach hit me up on Facebook saying they didn't have my information. So just things like that can really be a benefit to kids to where, a year later, that coach in that school recruited me and offered me. And I'm like, wow, this is all just from, social media. And then I turned into going to college. The big thing is now to use social media to announce where you're going.
Yeah.
And, I'm on Twitter, I got my top 10 schools with all the jerseys and pictures or my commitment videos. And, coaches reach out to you that way. Like, hey, when you post in your top 5, you interested in coming here? Like, can we get in the mix?
Clickbait.
Yeah, there's a lot of clicking. It's a lot of. But hey, okay, so now let's go to the colleges, but some high schools do it too. There's a lot of colleges and schools that it is very prominent to be on Instagram, Twitter, to really showcase your program.
Yeah.
Like, and even high school, even these high schools that have facilities have, we live in Dallas, Dallas area. Allen High School football is 30,000, 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Posting
powerhouse.
Posting their uniforms on game day, the facilities, the travel for regular high school kids. Now, granted,
social media run the world.
Yeah. Now, granted, these are great, 10 high major kids on one team, but it's a big deal. And especially when you get to college, you look at the amount of, just for example, you create content, you do photography, you do video. Like the amount of guys now that have jobs strictly just to be with, maybe not the whole athletic program, but one team, just with men's basketball, just with men's football, to follow them, document whatever is going on to get it out. So now kids at 14, 15 years old, they hear from this coach and they immediately go to Instagram and see like, oh man, like Go Shockers got 50,000 followers. Like, I might need to keep them in mind.
Yeah. It's definitely a motivator.
Oh, yeah.
Because kids definitely pay attention to how many followers these schools have. And I know one thing you used to pay attention to is how many fans fit in the stadium. And it's the same thing.
Definitely.
People want the attention.
Yeah. I mean, just, off air, we were watching, UNLV's like, just even now throwing YouTube into the mix that you have to find every way to tap in with kids in general and the parents. Like that's a great thing for a kid to be like, hey mom, let's go on YouTube real quick. We can see what the facility looks like. Yeah. Because especially in the midst of the year that we've been in with the pandemic, you really had to rely on that to essentially kind of do a lot of your recruiting. You can't necessarily get kids on visits to campus. So what's a great way? Like, hey, send the kid these 3, 4, 5 pictures of, our facility tour, our uniform, our game day travel. So then you can get somewhat as close of a feel to what it's like if you were in front of that camera for that school. Yeah. I mean, so it's crazy.
We talked about, the pressure of a professional athlete on the court and off the court. What do you think that type of exposure does to a college student? Like school-wise, education-wise?
I mean,
don't you think it may be a bit of a distraction?
You would think so, but I think you get to a point now where you're so used to the camera being in your face. I hope that what you're doing now is just so authentic you don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, if somebody has a camera in your face documenting what you're doing, I mean, I hope you're not faking it. What is there to fake? Yeah. I mean, you got to go to class. You got to get the schoolwork done. You're a student athlete. So I hope that just, especially me, if I'm talking to somebody 17, 18 years old, I hope when they're looking at that, I'm just telling them like, hey, that's great that you get that, but you have to do the part that he's doing. You really have to do it. Yeah. And there's going to be a time when the camera's not there.
Yeah.
And you still have to get it done. So don't fake it on camera.
Right.
Like, still do it when you not on camera. Like, let's just be real. You know, let's not make it more than it has to be. Like, you gotta go to class. You gotta perform on the court. If a camera's there in practice, it's no different when a game is there. Now it's just right in your face.
Yeah.
And hopefully it prepares you for the next level.
Right. I was gonna say that's probably the benefit, because you go into the professional aspect of it, and you're used to it.
Yeah. Because now it's different when you have a media obligation after every game. I mean, if you're not feeling it, you tell coach like, man, I'm not, coach gonna tell you, okay, we'll go up there and just sit there. Like now, professional sports, you get fined when you don't answer questions. You get fined to not do your media obligation. So you have to have, at that point, because you're a professional, a level of professionalism. And I hope that getting that experience at college, that you understand like the microscope's going to be on you. So just be prepared for it.
And I will say that, like, we're talking about social media. I feel like you can see a change within the athletes, today's athletes, as opposed to, athletes back in the day, the way they are able to speak professionally.
Oh, definitely.
And I think you can credit that to, the camera constantly being on.
Yeah. And I mean, I just remember I had times, especially me specifically being a journalism major, I had teachers that talked to me, one, about how to interview in terms of when I am on camera myself getting interviewed, and then also how to conduct an interview as well, because of the fact that that's something I was going into. So you have people that specifically know how to ask questions, and good journalists know how to get good answers. There are journalists that are really good journalists that know how to get out the dirty answers in terms of how to phrase a question to make you answer it in a way that's going to possibly reveal something that maybe we didn't know.
Right.
Or that you can't read the body language and get an answer that is. So that's something you really have to navigate. And I'm sure, you being with Epe and watching him sometimes have to navigate people asking, sometimes penetrating questions or trying to get information that you wouldn't be able to get, that's only going to be known behind closed doors.
Right. Right. It's definitely a science to it.
Yeah. Now, I ask you this. Would you have wanted social media to be the way it is today? Like when you were playing, like not that you maybe wanted the attention, but to be able to use it in the way that we have it now, like would that have helped you at all? Like
definitely.
Okay.
I mean, just because I know myself and I know me, I'm going to always be true to myself. And I know I always conduct myself in a professional manner. So I'm not worried about, something being exposed or, me saying the wrong thing, because I've never been that way. So it would have only benefited me.
Yeah.
The all the exposure that you get from that, it probably would have done wonders for my career.
Got you. Yeah, because you if y'all don't know, we called him the PlayStation. So I think for people to really see the fact that what you see in NBA 2K you is doing in real life, I think would have made you probably would have been like a dribble professional.
Professional.
I know that's the thing, so I mean, I think you'd have been a guy here that like, I can make a living just crossing people up. So I know that may not what you wanted.
Nah, I got more in my bag than that. I just enjoyed that.
Okay,
it gave me a thrill.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Seeing people laying on the ground, everybody go, ooh.
Yeah, so
definitely.
But yeah, just you saying that, like there's probably, we got film from high school games or something like that, or college, but there's people not making highlights every game back when I was playing. But you always have somebody in the stands or on the sideline making a highlight film, and you don't even know them.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that it's interesting that there are kids that they are almost disappointed when they don't play well and the camera's there, or they're disappointed that they had 30 and nobody saw it.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, the stats are the stats. The stats are going to be there. So, when it's time for people to send out stats and they ask a coach or somebody asks like, oh, what did you do? Be like, I had 30.
Right.
The numbers don't lie. So whether the camera's there or not,
yeah,
shooting percentage, numbers, like those things. And I hope that those numbers don't increase when the camera comes out.
Yeah.
Because now you're playing for clout instead of playing for an opportunity.
Yeah, true. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Okay, now one of the last things that I did want to touch on, because it's near and dear to me. How do you feel about the kids? And I see more college athletes doing it now because a lot of kids do go into a communications or journalism or sports management and marketing. Like the kids that you see that do have their own vlogs and things like that, and they feel comfortable enough on camera to showcase their life, showcase what they go through, and they have enough skill now to kind of essentially do the same thing that we do, not my age and your age, that they're comfortable enough behind the camera, edit it, get it put out on YouTube, and that their following that they've had from high school now continues into college.
I think it's definitely a sign of where the world is going. Mm-hmm. Because, kids today, like you said, they're able to do what we do on their own at an early age. Mm-hmm. And, that's like you said, that's the field they go into. And more kids are going to go into that field, and that's what we're going to see more and more of.
Definitely. And that's something I wish that I would have had a better understanding of when I was going through it, just feeling comfortable enough that the videos that I made, like I should have already put those out on YouTube and had that already started, that I was already doing it. I shouldn't have ever felt like, okay, this was just a project or this was just for a grade. I should have felt comfortable enough that did I make this well enough for the grade for the class, but did I also make this well enough if I put this out that I can be proud of it? Not about what kind of views I get, but am I proud of the work that I put in? And, you can see like the kind of craftsmanship with some of the young athletes I'm seeing and how well their video production is. The one that they're deciding, okay, I'm going to spend my cost of attendance money on a camera so that I can post good YouTube videos. Like if I do post anything on my Instagram or Reels or anything like that, that it's of quality.
Right.
So
it's definitely more than just for an A.
Oh, yeah. So shout out all the young YouTubers, young podcasters, young vloggers. We see y'all. So I'm tapped in with some of the young kids. I like what they're doing. I might have to pluck an idea or two. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that was one of the things. Like, it was just crazy that we were sitting there talking like, I don't know, were you getting on me about how much I was on social media?
Yeah. Scrolling, trolling.
I ain't trolling nobody. I try my best not to troll, okay? Because I don't want nobody to troll me if I ever get to a point where, like,
sucking in all that useless knowledge.
Sometimes the information is viable.
Yeah.
So, but you already know because I'm tapped in with slam, kicks on the court, all of it. Tapped in. You can stay up to date. Okay,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
So definitely,
but don't let it mess up your day-to-day production. Is all I'm saying.
You're right. So speaking of social media, you already know the deal. Follow your boy, Instagram, B_great, KE.
Follow your boy, witness your moment. You are.
You already know, get at that Twitter and the Instagram.
_.
Website.
www.seethefloorpodcast.com.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's what we do.
Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, all that, like, share, all that.
Oh, yeah, you got to give them the whole spiel. Yeah, everything. Like, hey, don't leave anything unturned. We appreciate the love. We appreciate y'all supporting. Until next time, y'all, we out.
See life like you see the floor.